Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am so excited to have you here. My name is Heather and in today's video, we are over at my best friend's house. I'm so excited. Recently, I put it out there to my friends and family and community that I was lending a hand and helping people clean and filming it. And it was very, very scary putting myself out there, and the responses were amazing. And one of my best friends responded. So I was like, absolutely, I would love to come over and deep clean your kitchen for you. So my best friend, we are calling her Missy. She does not want to be in the video at all. She's a single mom and she is incredibly hardworking. She is a radiology tech that she's just so incredibly smart. It blows my mind. And she's currently in a training program just to get additional certifications under her belt. And she's just working so hard, burning it at both ends. And I'm so happy and privileged to be able to come over here and help her out. And so we are tackling her pantry and we are deep cleaning her whole kitchen. So my plan of attack here was just to work from top to bottom. And so I took everything off of the first shelf and I laid that out in a row, that first row on the kitchen floor, and then the second shelf, the second row, so on and so forth. And so I'm just going through all of the items in the pantry. We are just looking for expired items, and we definitely found some. I will show you the pile, the toss pile here in a little bit. It definitely was not too bad. I feel like it's probably your standard kitchen. You know, you just buy stuff that gets crammed in the back and you forget about it. I probably only go through my cans maybe once or twice a year. That's about it. But if you've been watching my videos for any period of time, you probably know by now I don't cook, so I don't have a lot of things in my kitchen to go bad. But my friend, she definitely cooks. She cooks every night, which I am so impressed that she's a single mom and she's working full time and doing this training program. And she has so much on her plate and she makes the time to cook. So that is definitely inspiring. I probably need to do better. So maybe I will ask her for some recipes. So after we had gone through everything, checked all the expiration dates, got rid of anything that was expired or she was no longer wanting or using, or just using a lot of the bins that she already had, and I brought a few over that I had extra. And so we are just grouping like items together and then just getting everything put back and making it look pretty. So, if you are one of those people who love to hear like all of the natural scrubbing sounds and all of that in the videos, stay tuned because the whole kitchen, I've left all of those sounds in. But whenever we were doing her pantry, we were talking so much. We definitely use this as like our social hour. We hadn't seen each other in person for quite some time, and so there was a lot of catching up to do and a lot of gossiping going on. So whenever I was like speeding up the film to like 7 times its normal speed, it sounded absolutely crazy, and I was like, okay, I cannot leave that in there. I'm gonna have to do some voiceover and some music. So if you like the normal sounds, just stay tuned. So this is our trash pile. As you can see, not too bad, just a few items. And now this is the wonderful pantry. Everything is looking so awesome. It is just all so nice and neat and tidy and organized for her. So before I got started on the rest of the kitchen, I wanted to first start here on the stove top and oven. And so I am just kind of taking all the pieces apart and getting everything sprayed down with oven cleaner. I am using the fume-free kind. There is still a slight smell to it, but definitely not as harsh as the regular oven cleaner. And then I'm just wrapping those little metal things in saran wrap so that it doesn't dry out over the next several hours. I did have to come back midday and respray everything. It was looking a little dried out, but I just let that sit on there for about 5 hours. So the first cabinet we're starting here on is the cabinet just to the right of the stove, and as you can see, tons of spices. Me and her were joking. I was like, I think I have about 1/10 of the spices that she does. Again, I don't cook, and so I was really impressed, but she just had a bunch of spices, and thankfully, because we were able to throw some stuff away in the pantry, and because I had brought additional bins over from my house, that actually freed up a few containers or bins to use in this area. She didn't have anything currently in place, and I really love bins for cabinets. My friend is very, very short, shorter than me. So for us short people, I feel like having bins in these cabinets, especially as you get up to the higher sections of it, is such a big help, because you can just grab the bin, take it down to the counter, grab what you need, and then put it back. And then everything stays organized. Also, if something spills, which obviously happens very, very easily with the spices, if something spills, it's more likely to spill in that little bin. And so you can just easily take that out, clean it out, and then pop it back in. To me, I feel like that has just been such a lifesaver over the years, and it's such a small investment. So unfortunately, we did not have quite enough leftover bins to put all of the spices in, but you can just, whenever she's ready, she can just go back to Walmart and buy a few more. Now, my initial plan with this clear bin, I was going to put that on the bottom, but it did not quite fit right into that lower cabinet where I had initially wanted it. So I just had to rearrange some things, and don't be afraid to play around with all of this stuff. You don't have to get it right on the first try. And so it did take some time to go back and finagle everything and fit it all in there, but I got it done. And as I was putting everything back, I was like, I have no idea how you fit all of this stuff in to begin with. I was like, girl, where did you put it all? I got it all in there. It's not as pretty as I would like it. And but she uses all of it. And so, it's a smaller kitchen and space is limited. And so we're just working with what we got. And I do feel like it looks so much better and so pretty at the end. So I'm first coming in and cleaning off the cabinets and giving the backsplash and the side of the fridge a really good scrub down, and then coming back in with a disinfectant. And then whenever I get started on scrubbing down the cabinets, I'm actually using a degreaser called Crud Cutter. So you'll see me use that on all of the cabinetry throughout the kitchen, and I really, really love this stuff. I've used Simple Green before, and I think it's like the Dawn Professional Degreaser. It's purple, and that works really, really well. I don't know, but there's something about Crud Cutter. I feel like it just cuts through the grease and melts it like butter. As I'm cleaning out these cabinets, you'll see me use sometimes the green scouring pad. Right here, I'm using a Scrub Daddy. In another clip, you'll see me use like the electric little detailed brush. And in another clip, I'm using just a handheld detail brush. And honestly, there's really no rhyme or reason. I just use whatever tool I have by or whatever tool I just feel like using at the moment. I definitely don't necessarily always get caught up in, am I using the exact right perfect tool for this job? I'm definitely the kind of person, just use whatever you have on hand. There is actually one of my son's old, like little toddler toothbrushes that I use sometimes to clean little detailed areas. So if that's what you have on hand, use that. I feel like as long as you're getting in there and putting in some elbow grease, it's going to get done. It's going to get clean. So I feel like this little corner area of her countertop is such a high use area. It is pulling like quadruple duty over here, and there's just a lot of stuff out on the counter. So I wanted to pull everything off of the counter, obviously give it a really good scrub down. And then while I was working through some of the top cabinets just right above that area, I wanted to do everything that I could to make as much room as possible to get some of the items up off the counter and just kind of create a little bit less visual clutter in that space. I'm definitely the kind of person who feels very, very overwhelmed by visual clutter. I don't think my friend does, but I felt like we could just tidy up that area and make it work a little bit better without having to have so much out on the counter, and it just creates more workspace for her to cook. So cleaning a kitchen like this is pretty time consuming, I would say, from start to finish, not including the pantry. And we did take a break for lunch. We went to go get some Tex-Mex. Of course, we both absolutely love Tex-Mex. But it's very, very time consuming to do a whole kitchen at once. So if you are thinking about attempting something like this and you feel overwhelmed, that is completely understandable. And I was absolutely exhausted. On the other hand, it is a very, very, very good workout. I was definitely sore for the next couple of days. But if you want to take something like this on and you were just feeling overwhelmed, there is nobody saying that you have to do all of this at once, despite what this video looks like or anybody else's video looks like. You can absolutely take it one cabinet at a time, one drawer at a time, or one shelf in a cabinet at a time. You can definitely break it down week by week or month by month and just break it down into little pieces, and it makes it so much more manageable. Now that we have the whole kitchen just kind of reset and back to zero and back to what it was maybe when she first moved in, it should be so much easier to maintain. Just picking one area after you've gotten it clean, just picking one area per month to deep clean is so much more digestible in my brain to me than going in and tackling it all at once. Again, this is very, very time consuming. And if you're like a lot of us and you don't have this type of time on your hands, or you don't have the energy, or, life is just doing life, you get busy, do not feel like it's not worth your time just to do one drawer at a time, because it will help you stay on top of it and keep it from being such an overwhelming project. So by rearranging a few things in the other cabinets, I was able to actually get those coffee pods and all the tea up off the counters, and I feel like that just made a huge impact visually on the whole look of the countertops. So again, I am just coming in here with some crud cutter to get everything degreased, and then I will be coming back and doing a disinfectant. And don't forget to actually clean up underneath those counters, or rather cabinets. I know it's an area that probably a lot of people have never really thought of. It kind of is not on the forefront of our mind of something that we need to be cleaning, but a lot of grease actually does get up underneath there. Those grease particles really float far throughout the air, and look at that. You can see all of that grease that I just kind of scrubbed up off onto the poor little scrub daddy here, and then I'm just rinsing everything off, and then I'll go back and disinfect. So I had originally tried to make room in those cabinets just up above to put kind of all of her oils and cooking sprays and things like that just up there to get it up off the counter, but we weren't able to make enough room. So I just used a little wooden cutting board to just kind of corral the items, make it just a little bit more visually pleasing to the eye, and then if anything spills, it's just going to spill on that cutting board and you can just wipe that down real fast and then put everything back. And so we are moving on to a junk drawer, and thankfully she was here with me to go through these items because there's no way I would have known what half of these items were or have been able to make any decision on them. And so she was able to actually let go of a lot, and while we were going through it, she's like, I probably need to run to the dollar store to get some baskets. So we just kind of left that project where it was. I was able to move on to another cabinet, this cabinet right here, and then she came back with some baskets, and then we were able to get everything just a little bit more organized and put back into that drawer. As you can see, these cabinets hide the dirt very, very well, so that is a plus. But as you can see here, lots of dirt and grime that I'm able to pull up from these cabinets. Y'all, I have to say, I was so disappointed that I was not able to get more of the burnt off stuff off of these metal things that go on the stovetop. I let the oven cleaner sit on there for hours. I had it wrapped. I made sure that the product stayed wet and it wasn't dried out. And I was so not impressed with the final result. And thankfully, she is going to go buy some new ones at some point. She has bought them before, so this is not the original set. And thankfully, they're super cheap. I think you can just go grab them at Walmart. So I think that's what she's going to do before she moves out in several months here. But yeah, I don't know what I did wrong here. I thought for sure I was going to be able to get off the majority of it. And I was just super underwhelmed with how this product performed on these metal things here. And I don't know if it's because it's the fume-free kind. Y'all let me know in the comments if there's something else I should be trying on these to do a better job in the next home. Y'all, and now we are on to my absolute favorite part of this kitchen, underneath the stove. Now, neither of us had it in us to actually completely pull the stove out. I didn't want to mess anything up. She is in a rental, but that bottom drawer does pull out, and both of us were absolutely shocked. I can't remember if she knew that that pulled out all the way or not, but it was absolutely amazing. She was horrified, and I was like, no, this is so good. People love this. I love it because the before and after is so incredible. And we are just cleaning up the inside, and we were able to fit all of the pans back in, and everything turned out so great. So while I was cleaning, my friend was able to knock out tons of studying, and she got 3 tests done. She is nearing the end of her training certification cycle. She's only got a few more months, so she's really been focused on studying and working. And I was so glad that she had just some downtime to get things done and I could take cleaning the kitchen off of her list. And so we are just finishing up the last little area of the kitchen and then we will be done. So I did sweep the kitchen when I was done, but she insisted that she let her teen son mop. So I obliged. I was going to let him finish up that task and wrap everything up for us. But this is it. This is the kitchen. Everything has been cleaned from top to bottom, every single cabinet gone through and organized. And it just feels so amazing in this space. And I really hope that she is enjoying it and is able to just come in this space and relax and cook.